So as you can see, BTC has been selling off recently, like, and yes, so well, I just said let's keep our eye on it. For me, as personally, I would say this is my swing low, and this is my swing high right here, because this would have been my new low, but unfortunately we didn't close above it. We didn't have a candle close above it, so um this is now my strong low, and if BTC breaks this low and closes below it, then I would be keeping eye on shorts to take out this liquidity and come into this area possibly. So for now, I'm just watching it, because if we start to make some, we could start making some higher prices from here. Like, as this is quite strong. This low is quite strong because we took out liquidity and it's also a major swing low. So let's keep an eye out for BTC and see how it develops. Okay, going back to our regular. Oof. Okay, so Euro USD from yesterday, we've been talking about it for the whole week. About guys, if you took some longs on this, congratulations. Perhaps you should be finding ways to scale out now. Whatever I said it's any longs that you take is going to be short term, and preferably taking on like a 1 hour or 15 minutes time frame, which will analyze how that could have happened. But as it still stands at the moment, we're waiting for higher prices on Euro USD. I would check the dollar, but I think the dollar is also making a retracement as it grabbed liquidity. So it's becoming riskier. If you're in any longs, I would advise closure at the moment. So let's just see. You must have at least made something from it, because even on the 4 hour, you could see this was okay. Wait, you can see this pullback and then push down. So this was our fractal high, and then market just pushed above. So I'm sure, like, if you go on the 1 hour from here, let's analyze it. So now you can see once market came into there, it started to stall, right? And then this was our fractal low. Where did we have that fractal break? Right here, guys. So right here we had that fractal break to the highs, right? And then you could have just put your entry above, right? Because you're just looking for a quick 1 to 2, you can just put your entry above that fractal break, stops below here, and then think above the weekly open for like a 1 to 1.5, if you know. So just quick trades, if because you understand, okay, I'm taking a retracement trade. I don't need my usual 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. I could get a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to, you understand, and just quickly get out of the trade because you know the nature of the trade that you're taking. So we've seen some retracement, and for me personally, okay, let's, if you take this as our swing high and then our swing low, so I would like to still see perhaps some retracement to this discounted area, right? I would like to see some further retracement. So I'm not ready to take shots yet, but unfortunately, not unfortunately, rather, it's looking beautiful for shots, to be honest. Okay, because we have, okay, this weekly open here, and then which could act as resistance to just push the market down lower. So let's see. I would like, for me to take any shots from here, it would look something like this. Perhaps one more push up into this area, and then you see a strong market structure shift, and then from this weekly open we can start to scaling and look for further shorts. So that would be what I would be looking out for if I'm going to take shorts. For DXY, as we talked about, as we spoke about rather, um, we grabbed liquidity above this highs, and we started to, as we've been anticipating, we started to see some downward momentum. Yes, we're still in an impulsive phase. As let's go to the daily, you can see it's pretty clear that we're just making higher highs and higher lows. So all I'm just looking for, guys, is liquidation. And if we look to the left, right, we've grabbed liquidity right here, and now we're making some push up. So for us to say, okay, we want to look for buys, what do we need next, guys? Fractal structure shift. We need a fractal structure shift. And if you look at our the XY, we don't have if any clear these are fractal high, right? And these are fractal low. So for me to say, okay, I want to start scaling in, I would want another push down, perhaps into this area, or even more preferably into this discounted area. And then from there, we can start to look for long. So for me, it's not quite ready yet, and which is why I'm not confident about taking Euro USD shots. And also, guys, with GBP USD, similar story at the moment. We still have areas of liquidity above that I would like to see perhaps higher prices on. So I'm just waiting. So let's see, it's the end of the week. We could just perhaps by next week we'll get some good positions on this. I would like to see higher prices. But the thing is, you can see liquidity open. So, and if it starts pushing from here, I mean, let it go. That's it's not ours to take. For NU, you could see yesterday, I think, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I'm not even sure anymore. But Trump might have to pay back the tariffs. Like he might have to do that, and that caused some market movement. I think gold saw selling pressure also with crypto and bond, and also like with NU, um with the Canadian dollar, the Aussie dollar, right? The risk on pairs, right? With Kiwi dollar also. So they're also seeing selling pressure, which caused, you can see like with Euro and GU we had that bullish momentum, but with NU, nah, that didn't happen. You can see we had further selling pressure, and they're seeing downward momentum because people are shifting risk sentiment, right? We're going to risk off pairs right now. They're getting stronger. So you just watch out for that, and you can just see. So I think we had just this liquidation, and then boom, just selling pressure from there. This is very bearish. Any shot you're taking now is just getting riskier, but I would wait for liquidation. Okay, we could come here to the lower time frame, and then right here you have liquidity. Here you have like this consolidation, which is quite strong also, as we took our liquidity to our left. So, and as this is quite bearish, you could have, okay, so you have like a retracement into this highs, right? Pardon my whatever my massive swings, but I hope you get the, and then maybe we come into here, and then you see those selling pressure, and then you can start to take those shots. So you want to see liquidation, right? We want to see liquidation first, and then you can start looking for those shorts, because if you don't see that, then perhaps you become the liquidity, and we don't want that. We're trying to prevent that. So let's wait for higher prices, and then we can look for those shorts. It's looking wonderful also. Like I like it. With AU also, I would like higher prices, as I've been preaching, screaming all week. I'm just waiting for higher prices on this, and then perhaps we come into this strong high, and then we can sell from there. Let's see how this goes. Right. The thing with AU is also keep in mind the swing is still bullish. So for me, looking for shorts I would be going against the swing structure, but I don't mind because okay, dollar is showing strength, and Oz and the Aussie dollar is showing weakness. So for that, you just but sentiments change, and if it changes, then we will talk about that. But for now, that's the sentiment in the market. For USD CHF, here we grab liquidity here, right? And we grab liquidity above this highs, right? And then we consolidated into it. You can just see, oh guys, look at this. We talked about this, right? Look at this. Move slowly into it, and then because CHF is also showing strength. That's also, yeah, the CHF is also showing strength. So you can see a break, and then boom, one, two, three, break down below, and now we're just pushing up. So I'm interested in looking for shorts on this. If we retest this area, guys, let's go to the 1 hour, right? You can see we have this liquidity area open, we have here, so perhaps we grab some liquidity, and then, right, and then you see that change of character, and then you find those entries. So that would be what I would be looking for on this pair. With gold, guys, gold is still pretty choppy at the moment. You can just see it's just moving sideways. You can see it's just moving sideways, and there's nothing really for me to do at the moment. So I'm staying out, as I advise you also. With USD card, we've had some bearish momentum, but in my opinion, I would still like to see maybe this low that we created taken out. That would be nice, and then we could look for the longs, because we're at the impulsive phase, and CAD is also showing weakness. So let's see what happens if we start to see some dollar longs, like some dollar buys, some dollar strength rather, and then we could take it from there. And USD JPY still remains one of quite my favorite. I like this. I like this low that we've taken. And then where's the fractal high? We have our fractal high here. So I would wait for this to get broken. We're at 154.03, and then retracement, and then, or because it's JPY, it can move very impulsive at times. So you could just put an entry right above the break, and then once it breaks, because you could just go. You get it? So that's how I personally trade my JPY pairs. If I just put an entry above it, and then we just go with it, because sometimes you don't get that retracement with its JPY. It could be very impulsive. You don't get that retracement that you're waiting for, and then the move goes without you, and you're like, why? Okay, so guys, that's the end. That's it for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Take care. Have a great weekend.